It's finally happening. Bald Panarin is back as he looks to find his swagger, and the Rangers finally made an adjustment on the power play. Can this one player in particular provide the type of production Chris Kreider did on the man advantage? In this video, we're going to give our thoughts on if this helps moving forward on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for blue shirt fandom, and I'm your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this beautiful Thursday, Junior Friday, the 6th of November. We have a ton to talk about as the Rangers are looking to get back on track tomorrow night in Detroit, so we have multiple updates. Plus, guys, Bald Panarin is back. But before we break everything down, a quick reminder to go smash that subscribe button. About 72% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel, so please go down below, hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers, because guys, this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. Let's waste no more time and hop right into the video. As I just said, Bald Panarin is back. Let's hear what Panarin had to say about shaving his head. He shaved his head once again, guys. Let's hear what he had to say. Panarin on shaving his head. I had to change something. Next stop, it's going to be a left stick for me. Now, as I just said, Bald Panarin, we remember the last time he shaved his head. He had one of the best years of his career. It came after the Rangers were, eliminated in the first round against the Devils. Very disappointing. He shaved his head, and then he had one of the best years, not just with the Rangers. It was his best year with the Rangers, but one of his best years ever. He was an MVP finalist, and man, it was a great season for him. He just looked lighter out there, no pun intended, without those luscious locks on his head. But man, hopefully he can turn things around now after shaving his head. Now, we have to remember, guys, this is from ForeverBlueShirts.com. They do excellent work over there, John Kreider. Artemi Panarin is the best. He's the best free agent signing in the history of the New York Rangers. But whether he'll be back next season is an open question, especially with talks about a new contract reportedly going nowhere fast. Now, guys, this is the one thing you absolutely hate about star players entering a season without a contract. You saw Edmonton avoid that situation, multiple other teams. When you have a top 20 player in hockey when he's on his game, the best player on your team, enter the season without a contract, it's going to be a talking point the entire season. There have been multiple updates every single day from guys like Elliot Friedman, Frank Saravelli, Pierre LeBrun, etc. It's going to be a talking point the entire year. That's why we've spoken about it so much here on the channel as well. The 7-year, $81.5 million contract Panarin signed on July 1st, 2019, ends after this season. According to Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos, who wrote about Panarin's situation in his latest Real Kippers column, the 34-year-old forward made clear to the Rangers that he won't accept a reduction from his current salary in any new contract. Nick Kypreos, a former Ranger, he won a cup with the team in 1994. I wasn't even freaking born yet, so just feels like forever ago since the Rangers have won Lord Stanley, but Kypreos talking about how Panarin doesn't want anything less than the current AAV he's currently making, saying it's a non-starter for him. Well, guess what? It's also going to be a non-starter for the Rangers because Panarin must be delusional or something, because he is not the same player, clearly, that he was when he signed that contract in 2019. He's older. He's shown signs of decline the past 2 years. Last year were the first signs of it. It was the first time in his whole career he was a minus. This year, showing even more of a decline. He hasn't scored in 6 straight games. So, he seems a little bit delusional here, saying that he wants to make at least the same AAV that he's currently making now. It's just absolutely insane to me. Now, moving along, the pending UFA has made it clear to the Rangers, this is from Kypreos as well, that he is not interested at all in a pay cut. That has shut down any chance of negotiations. The Rangers don't want him at that same rate again. And like I said, I can't blame them. Now, Panarin has 7 points on the year in 14 games. 4 of his 7 points came in one game against the Montreal Canadiens, which means he has points in just 4 of 14 games this season, guys. Now, I understand if you look at Rangers history, if you look at points per game, Artemi Panarin has been a great Ranger, and he is number 1 at 1.25 points per game. But he is a great regular season player, just like the Carolina Hurricanes, who the Rangers just played, are regular season merchants, not able to get it done in the postseason. Artemi Panarin has been the same, unfortunately. A great regular season player, but then when it matters most in the postseason, in 46 Stanley Cup playoff games, he goes from a 1.25 point per game player to a 0.76 point per game player. That is not what you're paying $12 million for. Now take a look. The free agent forward class, no doubt about it, is thinning. You can see Panarin is probably going to be the most elite player on the market. I will say, though, you see guys like Adrian Kempe here, Alex Tuch, who we've spoken about on the channel. Not sure if Kempe is going to get a deal done in LA. You know, time will tell. But if Kempe or Alex Tuch are available, I'd rather have one of those players instead of Panarin. If Panarin doesn't want to take a pay cut and wants at least $12 million per year, that's just asinine to me. That's absolutely insane. I would not do it. Alex Tuch and Adrian Kempe are both 5 years younger than Panarin and both fit the system, the Sullivan system, the structure better. They play a north to south style of hockey that the Rangers are looking to play. I love Artemi Panarin, but he doesn't seem like a seamless fit into this Mike Sullivan structure. Now, we need to talk about the power play. We just have to talk about it because, you know, Darius brought this up in his video earlier, and I wanted to bring it up as well because it leads me to my next point. Mike Kelly from NHL Network breaking down the New York Rangers power play. What do you do when you don't hate the process, but you can't ignore the results any longer? That seems to be where the Rangers find themselves. The Rangers power play is a league worst 11.1%, 4 for 36 to start the season. That feels to me 4 for 36. That's like what John Starks shot in the NBA championship for the Knicks. I mean, just a complete disaster. 4 for 36, worst on the power play. But not only that, the lowest scoring team in the National Hockey League. They scored just 2.21 goals per game, and a lot of that has to do with Panarin. He hasn't scored in 6 straight games, only has 1 goal on home ice. So the power play, last in the NHL. Goals per game, last in the NHL. No matter how good the structure is, no matter how good the goaltender is, no matter how good Fox and Gavrikov is, it doesn't matter. You can't win when you don't score goals. It's as simple as that. So what have the Rangers done? They don't hate the process, but they can't ignore the results. They made a change. Will Cuylle is at the net front replacing Lafreniere. You know, Will Cuylle is not Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider was a huge piece on this power play, but he does have a similar frame. He's an inch taller than Chris Kreider, but he is 20 pounds less than Kreider. The thing I like about Cuylle is he doesn't fear away from the blue paint. He doesn't fear away from the net front. He's not going to look to get to softer areas on the ice. He will stick his body there, and hopefully, you know, at practice today, the Rangers did score with this new power play look, so hopefully it leads to results, you know, when the games actually matter. I would like to see Noah Laba as well get a chance on power play too, because I believe he could be a net front presence as well, but more on Noah Laba later. Now, here are some of the lines. You can see there was a change. Adam Edstrom does look like he's going to be a healthy scratch, which absolutely just pisses me off. You know, benching Big Ed and not Connor Sherry. I mean, what has Connor Sherry done to deserve a solidified spot on this roster? I mean, Mike Sullivan, it seems like Connor Sherry, who has done absolutely nothing, he hasn't scored a goal. It feels like he'll never score a goal. You know, it seems like he's never going to be taken out of the lineup. When you have a guy like Bret Botfeld, who played last season in only 35 games with a torn labrum, he scored 6 goals, which is more than Connor Sherry has scored in 2 years. Connor Sherry, the last season he played in the NHL, a full year with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 23-24, he only scored 4 goals. Bret Botfeld did more than that last year in less games with a torn freaking shoulder. So Connor Sherry benching Big Ed and not Connor Sherry just drives me up a wall. It just makes me very mad. And now the last thing is Noah Laba. At this point, Laba appears poised to remain in the NHL for the entire year. Great news. The Rangers have told him he can look into local housing options, which means he's able to move out of the hotel where the team houses players who might go back to AHL Hartford. So it looks like Noah Laba is here to stay, which is absolutely great news. But I'm fascinated to hear your comments down below. What are your thoughts on the new look power play? Do you think it's going to help at all? You know, taking Lafreniere off of power play 1, sticking Will Cuylle at the net front. Leave your comment down below. Let us know how you feel. And if you haven't yet, hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers.